This one hurts, man. This one hurts because I'm the problem here. I set unrealistic expectations. You know what I was saying? I was saying we beat West Ham, we're going for the league. Manchester United won, West Ham won. Away from home at the cursed stadium of West Ham, London Stadium. I hate it there, man. I hate it there. We haven't won since, I believe, Cristiano Ronaldo's playing. David De Gea saved from Mark Noble's last minute penalty. So it's one of our bogey teams playing at their stadium. But yeah, let's just get straight into it. Obviously, like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff for me. I'm trying to grow. But yeah, man, Sesko, thank you, because you saved a poor performance from Manchester United. You saved us from, you know, we to be fair, I believe we should have lost that game. West Ham United even created more chances in injury time. I don't think we created enough. West Ham United planted some aeroplane. That wasn't a park the bus job. That was park the aeroplane, man. They parked a plane in front of that goal. And you know what I mean? Our rifle, our gun jammed at the first sight of a low block. Oh man, we haven't come across a low block like that in a while, and it looks like Carrick couldn't find the correct method in order to, you know, penetrate West Ham enough. Pause. But yeah, penetrate West Ham enough and get the 3 points. But it is what it is. Sesko saves it from... I was reading something this morning, and it said he had a 0.05 xG, so a very, very low probability to score that goal. So Benjamin Sesko, gunman Sesko. Since that injury at Spurs Stadium, since that injury, Sesko, you have been flying, and long may it continue, man, because you can tell he's a player. You can tell he's a player. But obviously strikers are always measured on the goals they score, how they score them, and how impactful those goals are. So hopefully Sesko, you know what I mean, you lead us to many trophies in the future. But that goal was outstanding, man. In order to do that, to score from that position, there's only one technique you can use. In order, you know, he doesn't smash the volley. He just caresses it into the top corner. The touch is phenomenal. Berbatov would be proud. And obviously, this is why Berbatov's been having conversations with Sesko. If you know behind the scenes of what's going on at Manchester United, Dimitar Berbatov has been having conversations with Sesko, you know, trying to get the best out of him. And that's a Berbatov touch. That is a Berbatov finish. And well played, Sesko. Well played, Berbatov, for the insight. But yeah, man. For me, the goal that we concede, Luke Shaw, you are a disease to this football club, man. You are a disease to this football club. I've said it continuously on my social media platforms. Luke Shaw is a big problem. He's a big problem. He's the worst signing for Manchester United in the last 10 to 15 years. I think he's been here, 13 years now? 13 years of Luke Shaw. You get, you know, the good games against the big teams, the Cities, the Arsenal. You get them. But when it comes to, you know, keeping that focus, maintaining focus under, you know, constant pressure, like we were getting some pressure from West Ham. Luke Shaw is always the one that crumbles, always the ones that fold. When the feds come knocking, Luke Shaw starts singing, man. Every time it's Luke Shaw. You learn in amateur football, in Sunday League football, don't let the ball bounce. Either commit or take, you know what I mean? Either commit or take your man down with you. And he doesn't commit. He lets the ball bounce. Bowen gets the head on. And then he rushes, loses his focus, tries to rush towards Souček, who's got the ball, who plays it out wide. Luke Shaw, you're just not consistent enough. We need to replace Luke Shaw this summer. We need to get rid of Luke Shaw. Rip that contract up in front of his face and tell him, jog on, man. You're a mid-table Premier League player. You're not a Manchester United player. The worst signing in United's history. But yeah, that's my thoughts on him. But in terms of the game, I don't think we created enough. I don't think Carrick got the right formation, right setup from the get-go. I think Sesko should have started against a low block. You know, we were meant to get enough crosses into the box. Luke Shaw again, awful crosses. But Dallo, I'm a big fan of Dallo. Somerville ripped him a new, you know what? Somerville was absolutely smacking this boy up, and Dallo got the infamous curly finger. He got the curly finger from Carrick, Steve Holland and co on the bench, and rightly so, man. Dallo was terrible. See his weight of pass. I always talk about the importance of your weight of pass, man. It separates the best from the average players, and that's what it was. Dallo, you really need to improve on that weight of pass, because it's costing us. It's costing us in games. You're losing the ball in places that you shouldn't be losing the ball as a right back. And obviously he got absolutely ripped down the line from Somerville. So in terms of ratings of Manchester United players, for me, Dallo was the worst alongside Luke Shaw. But again, Luke Shaw, the culprit of the goal, man. We needed that goal. We didn't need to concede the first goal. We don't want to be chasing in a ground where it hasn't been great for us. So Luke Shaw, for me, worst player on the pitch by a country mile. Not far off is Dallo. Hopefully Maguire's injury isn't too serious. It looks like it was just a groin strain rather than it looks like it was just a hamstring strain rather than an actual pull of the hamstring. Because he felt it in the first half, and then he actually played until around the 65th, 69th minute. I can't remember the exact minute, but I thought Lenny Yoro did a superb job coming in. Someone who's been under a lot of criticism, especially under Amorim. I'm proud to say Lenny Yoro is going to be one of the best defenders in world football in the next 5 to 10 years. But right now, he's not that. He's nowhere near that. But seeing a cameo off the bench like that from Lenny Yoro, composed. I think he gave one pass out to the right back that didn't reach the player. That was an awful pass, but coming on the pitch rusty, you haven't warmed up, you haven't been on the pitch for as long as possible as the other players. You're not up to game sharpness. So I thought he did well beside that pass. I think in terms of our attacking forwards, Mbeumo was awful. I'm gonna say how he is. I don't care. Mbeumo, awful. Ahmad, awful. What they've done over the last, during the season, they've been our best players, Ahmad and Mbeumo. Cunha hiding. Bloodline of Neymar. What bloodline of Neymar, bro? He was hiding. He was like the last veteran of an army team hiding behind the corner. Let his fellow soldiers, go. And he's just hiding. He hasn't gone yet. Cunha didn't play well. I thought the referee was awful throughout the game, to be fair. Wanted to make it about him. And on that goal, that should have stood. Casemiro's goal should have stood based on previous decisions from the disgraceful institution of PGMOL, the Premier League, their VAR system, whoever's in charge of all of that shit, all the vans, burn them vans down at Stockley Park. They're a disgrace because they gave Florian Wirtz his goal against Fulham because I believe the reasoning was a 5 centimeter difference between Florian Wirtz and the defender in that game. So the benefit of the doubt is given to the attacker. So why wasn't the benefit of doubt given to Casemiro in this situation? On his farewell tour, by the way. Kobe Mainu, my quarterback, my QB1, playing one of the best crosses I've ever seen during the season, straight on the head of Casemiro's. And obviously Casemiro finishes. The guy's learned his heading ability from none other than Cristiano Ronaldo. That goal should have stood, and United should be, United should be on 5 wins right now. We should have, yanked that United Strand's hair off. But it is what it is. First hot take here by the ever-present AG. My guy, Carrick showed his inexperience today. Got the lineup wrong. Underestimated the physical mismatch 100% and waited too long to make the subs. You can't expect to break down a Nuno team when moving the ball at snail's pace. Disgusted at the number of hair-related puns I'm seeing. AG, man, yeah. That last sentence. I echo that, bro. I echo that 100%, man. Disgusted at the number of hair-related puns I'm seeing. But yeah, Carrick, I believe he definitely showed his inexperience today. You're playing against, a very physical West Ham side that are fighting the relegation battle. You need to get stuck in. You can't have Mbeumo. He has shown, glimpses of his strength and power against City, Arsenal, Fulham, but against a West Ham side that, you know, like to dominate the air, I think Sesko was the guy you start. So Carrick, yeah, 100%, I believe, showed his inexperience today. Let's go into the next one here from Senor Cunha. I like that name. This result is exactly why we need to bring someone else in to manage. Showed no adaptability to the low block in the second half. Sesko should have started and absolutely came on for the second half. When he did bring him on, it should have been for Ahmad or Mbuemo. Neither are left wings to be moved out on the left. I completely agree with that point. Maguire should have had a break as well. Not that he played bad, but I think he's carrying injury, as the commentators mentioned. In terms of your Maguire comment, Maguire, he said it during the game, just before he came off, his hamstring went. And it was something that he was bringing in from the first half. 11 players are not going to carry us the rest of the season. I get you, Senor Cunha, but I'm glad that Carrick has... He knows his best 11, which is great for a manager. To know your best 11 is great. Then you can start, you know, shifting around the components of that 11. But 100%, I'm not convinced that we need to bring someone else in to manage as of yet, because I think Carrick is still doing a tremendous job, and I think it would be more of a risk if Carrick does go on to, you know, become. Get us top 4. I think it's more of a risk than replacing Carrick. I think it looks bad on ownership if that goes wrong. So I'm not completely in your, you know, I'm not completely agreeing with that first sentence, but in terms of, yeah, show no adaptability to the low block in the second half. I think he did with putting Sesko on. I think he understood his mistake, but I think the wrong substitution, you're 100% correct. I think Cunha should have remained on the pitch. Ahmad and Mbuemo are neither of our left wingers in our system, so yeah. I agree with those points, Senor Cunha. I think that's probably, I've read a few. I think that's my hot take review of the week. So well done, man. Next one we got here is from United Blood. Gutted for result. Don't want to jump on reactionary negativity for now. Unless and until such results and performance becomes a habit. I get you. Against low block, a focal point striker should start. Like we've all been saying, Carrick got it wrong in terms of who should have started. I think Sesko deserved to start because he's come on and been very influential in games. Should have got a goal against Fulham. Sorry, not against Fulham, against Tottenham. So yeah, I completely agree with you there. Cage Football says Carrick should... A lot of people going for Carrick today, man. Carrick should have made changes from the start. 11 players don't win you titles and games alone, but the whole squad does. I think Carrick knows that. I just think it's... He should have started Sesko and Euro. The players were leggy and he should have rotated, but a point is better than none. Exactly, man. But we played bad in my view. We played performance-wise awful. The gun jammed. As soon as we seen a low block, first sight of a low block in this Carrick interim period, the gun jammed. You know what I mean? We had our pants pulled down really. But a point is better than zero. Still undefeated in the Carrick run. Still unbeaten, you know what I mean? So we take those. He should have started Sesko and Euro. I think you got a shout there. Maybe Euro should have started this game. You know what I mean? Maybe Euro should have started this game. I like that from you. I like that, yeah. I think Euro should have started ahead of Maguire. We'll go for one more here. We got someone here named Carrick out. He's gunning for him. He says, keep Carrick far away from the full-time job. Basically, an Ollie without the vibes. Should be Enrique or Zidane options only. Dallo, your boy, terrible once again. You coming for me, bro? But yeah, 100% Dallo, abysmal performance. Somerville ripped him, but Luke Shaw, for me, was the worst player on the pitch. Keep Carrick far away. I think he's levels above Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in terms of tactician and coaching. I think the vibes are there with Michael Carrick, for me personally. Should be Enrique or Zidane options only. For me, Luis Enrique would be the dream, man. When Ronaldo was here and we sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Luis Enrique should have been the guy that we went for. Fortunately, we can't change the past. We need to open discussions with Luis Enrique immediately. So I like that. I like that from you, Carrick out. Big energy from Carrick out, man. But yeah, let's go. Let me know what you guys think. As always, you know, I'll see you in the next video. But please like, comment, share, subscribe, do all of that. Sending you love. See you in the next video.